Welcome back. We've been talking about the healing power of music with Pete Griffin. He's president of Musicians on Call. And whether you have any inkling of musical talent or not, this is an organization that is going to definitely do your heart good when you volunteer. And I know your job, you were saying, you go home and you feel good about what you do every day.
I do. I mean, there's so many great causes out there.
Yeah.
But for our particular mission and what we do, you're generally walking into a room where people are having the worst day of their life. Yeah. Whether you're a patient or a family member, to sit there as your little one is battling cancer, it's the worst day of your life.
Yeah.
But to be part of something that can change that mood within 3 or 4 minutes, within the length of a song, and you walk out of that room with people smiling and singing and clapping and dancing and sharing memories, you just want to keep doing it as much as you can, and I think we're grateful to be able to do that every day.
Absolutely. It's an escapism for us. You know, it makes us forget about, if only a little while, our troubles when we just are concentrated on the music and maybe singing along. So you're doing great things. We want to see this program go to people all around the world, and I know that's something that you're working on. You're covering our country, but you're working on carrying this program to other parts of the world, aren't you?
That's right. And you know, one of the things that we're trying to do is leverage technology so that we can get to more people. And there's really 2 ways we're doing it right now. One we're doing already, and one of them that we're working on. The first one is our virtual program. And with that program, what we do is we have musicians, like many here in Nashville, for example, that actually play remotely using Google Hangout to folks in hospitals around the country. So if it's not one of the 20 cities that we're already in, we're using the technology so that the musicians can play remotely for kids in Indianapolis or in Phoenix or Charlotte and other cities, and get connected to them, and also still have that interaction with them. So it's not like, you know, just a concert that they're recording and playing, but it's a hangout, so they can talk to each other and ask questions and request songs. And so that's been a really great tool for us to start to get this music out to more people. And we also partner with Seacrest Studios, which has a great program here at Vanderbilt and Monroe Carroll Children's Hospital. And so their technology that we bring our volunteers to allows folks to play in their Seacrest studio and then have that performance beamed to all the rooms in the facility. And we've actually done it with them so that a performance in one of their studios is not only beamed to the hospital that they're in, but also to other Seacrest studios around the country. Which
my goodness, isn't that wonderful? Because there's like 10 around the country.
There are.
And a lot of these patients here in our local hospital aren't able to come down to the studio. But this is broadcast out to their rooms, and now it's being broadcast all around the country to the patients there as well.
It is, and so we're grateful to partner with them. And then the one thing that we're working on that hasn't come out yet is we're creating a system so that hospitals can start to onboard themselves instead of waiting for us to come to their town, and then also creating a certification program for musicians so that we can start to connect hospitals and musicians directly anywhere around the country and eventually anywhere around the world, so that everyone can be connected to the healing power of music from all these talented live musicians that are out there that, you know, from what I hear, they want nothing more than to make people feel better when they're having a bad day, and which is why we've got so many volunteer musicians that support us across the country.
There's a waiting list for volunteers, everybody. So if you're not able to start volunteering immediately, just know that this is a very, very popular organization. Well, as you're celebrating your 20th anniversary, there's some ways that people can support you, and really good ways. You can get some merch and some other types of things like that. So talk about some of the things that you all are doing in honor of your 20th anniversary.
Sure. So we are going to be having a big event here in Nashville to celebrate our 20th anniversary, and so we'll be announcing that soon, but that'll be here in town, and will be a big celebration that we hope people will come to. Another thing we have is we're doing a merch campaign, and merch is what we call apparel in the music industry, but if you go to musiciansoncall.org/merch, you can get some of this limited edition apparel that we've created. And so I'm wearing one today. We've got a whole line of shirts that say "Music Heals" in different designs and fonts, and sometimes the celebrities will help us design them, and other times they'll help promote them. So this shirt in particular, Florida Georgia Line was out wearing, Peter Frampton was out wearing, so a lot of the artists have kind of picked a design that they liked and wear that shirt as kind of an ambassador for what we're doing. But anyone can go to our website and pick up these shirts as well. And then we're really trying to organize a lot of these celebrity hospital visits so that we can create really special moments for patients across the country in honor of 20 years of trying to bring the healing power of music to people.
I love it. If people, say, are watching maybe today in the hospital and they want to find out how maybe musicians on call could come to them, is there a way they can get in touch with you?
Sure. So if you go to our website, we've got a form that says Become a Champion, and that's for people that want to help bring musicians on call to their hospital or to their city that we're not already in. So if people fill out that form, that kind of gives us a note and says, okay, we've got some interest at this facility or this city, and so then we start to get the wheels moving to try to get our programs to them. So there's a lot of ways that people can get involved, whether it's volunteering or becoming a local champion or supporting, you know, us through our merch or a donation. So we'd love all the support, because at the end of the day, we just have this such a sense of urgency to try to make people feel better and use music as a tool to do that.
Well, you do it wonderfully. Thank you so much for being here. We really do appreciate it. And if you'd like to know more about Musicians on Call, they can always go to your website, right?
That's right.
musiciansoncall.org.
musiciansoncall.org.
Thank you so much for being here, Pete.
Thanks for having me.
And I want to also thank you for watching. I'm Tawanda Coleman, and I'll see you next time on the Plus Side of Nashville.